Let's move on to the next topic, that is asymmetric key cryptosystems, where we are going to discuss n number of algorithms about asymmetric cryptosystems. See here, we have listed with the outline where we are going to discuss all these algorithms one after the other. The first one, which we are going to discuss in this session, is Diffie-Hellman key exchange algorithm. See, out of 5, we are going to know where these algorithms are exactly utilized along with its algorithm and also with its example. So let's start with the first algorithm, Diffie-Hellman key exchange. See, this algorithm is very, very important when we are about to create one session key. When we will be concentrating on the session key is a next point. We have key agreement already, which we have discussed in the prior sessions, where we have said that we need a session key to ignore man in the middle attack, right? When we are concentrating to avoid man in the middle attack, the solution which we have is a secret key, which we are going to generate for both sender and the receiver, right? See, both sender and receiver will be generating with one common key that is called as a session key, as we have discussed prior, right? So this session key is the only key which will be common for both the sender A and the receiver B, right? See, this is a session key which is not shared between A and B. This is generated individually at sender A and receiver B, where these two generations will be giving same result, that is the session key SK, right? So this generation purpose, we are going to utilize our Diffie-Hellman key exchange algorithm, right? So for this purpose, this is the main purpose of creation with a session key. So what is the importance of this is, which we are going to ignore man in the middle attack, as we have discussed in the prior sessions in the introduction part of asymmetric key cryptography, where we have faced one of the problem, that is one of the attack that is called as a man in the middle attack. To ignore that, we are moving to session key, right? So for that, Diffie-Hellman is the first key agreement algorithm which we have in the cryptography areas, right? So here we are going to avoid man in the middle attack. Let's all move on to the exact topic, the algorithm and the example also. See the algorithm. The algorithm which we are seeing here is having 3 important steps. First step is we have to select one prime number. Okay, we may choose any one of the prime number which we have in list of n number of prime numbers. See, from there we have to generate one primitive root of that prime number, right? So I am denoting that primitive root of prime number as alpha. Next, after having these two in our hands, we are going to concentrate individually at sender and receiver. Now, sender side A, let me assume that A is our sender. Now, select one private key, that is XA. This may be anything, okay? This may be anything. There is no interconnection or is any generation kind of things. We are going to select one private key, that's it, which must be less than our Q. Similarly, at receiver side, we have to generate one private key. I mean, we have to select one private key, which must be lesser than our prime number Q, selected prime number Q. Now, with this private key, I'm going to calculate my public key. This side also, I'm going to concentrate on the creation of the public key. Now, whatever the private key I have individually, which is confidential to me, that is XA. Now, with this XA and whatever the primitive root I have, I'm going to find out YA. Okay, YA is a public key, as we have just seen. YA equal to alpha to the power of my private key. I'm utilizing my private key here. Alpha is a primitive root. I'm utilizing my private key mod the prime number which we have. so that I will be having my public key, A side public key. Okay. So now this public key I am going to give to my public key rings. That is, all the public keys will be available in one ring, right? So that ring will be provided with this YA. Now user B side, I mean the receiver side, I'm going to utilize receiver's private key, which is confidential to the receiver, and generate in a similar way the public key of the receiver. Now these two are exchanged with their public keys, right? Now A will be having YB with them and B will be having YA with them, right? So the exchange of the public keys is done. Next point is to generate the secret key. That is a common key which we are going to get after sharing the public keys. Now we have at center side, I have receiver's public key, right? See, I am taking receiver's public key and applying my private key with respect to mod, with respect to the prime number which I have. I'll be getting one result as K, right? In the similar way, at receiver side, anyhow, I have received the public key of sender, that is YA. With that YA, x to the power of my private key mod Q, I will be getting K. So this K, which is generated at A, will be equal to generated at B. So this is a common secret key generation between both sender and the receiver, right? So let us see one example in detail to understand about this. See here, I am assuming Bob and Alice are the two partners. I mean the two communication partners. And there is one point to discuss about alpha here. See, alpha is a primitive root. Everybody may be having this doubt how to generate this alpha, right? So if I choose my value prime number as 5, okay, my prime number as 5, I have to choose alpha in such a way that I have to find first pi value. So how to get my pi of p is p minus 1. So I'll be getting 4, right? So this 4, I should find out all its factors. So 1, 2 will be my factors which are less than my value 4. Okay. Now 1 and 2 are the primitive factors, right? Now, after taking this, you first consider first root, I mean first value 1, 4 mod 1. What is the output we may have? Just apply division concept here. 1 4s are 4. So my output is 0, right? This I am not considering. Why I'll say just now. Now, I'll take 2, 4 modulus 2. Sorry, this is 5, right? Sorry, I have to take prime number here, my prime number. So 5 modulus 2. So 2 2s are 4. My output is 1. I should choose my alpha in such a way that after having my pi value 4 and after finding its factors, I should choose one of the factor as a primitive root, 1 or 2. So among these two, which is giving my modulus as 1 should be my output, modulus of the prime number, right? Modulus of the prime number. Don't forget here, modulus of the prime numbers. See where I am getting my value as 1 here. See, 5 percentile 2 is giving my value as 1. So my primitive root will be 2 if my prime number is 5. Okay, in such a way that we have to choose our alpha. Done. So this is one of the step I want to discuss with you. Next, let us move to the procedure. See here, Bob and Alice are the two communication partners here. So what we are doing here as per the algorithm, which we have just discussed, generate a secret number at both sides, that is XA and XA, right? Then after, you just compute public key with respect to, see, X and Y are the private keys. Then compute your public key with respect to the your alpha to the power of your private number. Alpha here, A is your primitive root of P. Okay, A is the primitive root of P. A to the power of X is a private key. Next, similarly, A to the power of Y mod P. Then after this, we are going to exchange this. Just before we have seen this, after exchanging the public keys, we are going to find the session key, which will be same for both sender and the receiver, which is identical between the sender and the receiver. See, identical secret key. See, let us see one example so that you will be getting a proper idea about it. Just analyze this one. We'll do together, right? See, here we have one example. I am taking my prime number as 354, right? Here my prime number is 354. I am denoting that prime number with Q. This is my prime number, that is 353. Now I have to find my primitive root of 353. Okay, so for this, as a similar case, whatever we are doing, so do pi value first. Pi will be getting prime minus 1, so 352. See, out of 352, I may be having n number of roots, factors for this, right? After taking all the factors, which is the least primitive root is a 3. So if I go with the 353, percentile 3, my output for this will be 1. Okay, so wherever I get my output as 1, I should consider only that as my primitive root. Got this? So alpha will be 3 value here. Okay. See, after proper calculations and all, we have kept this example in front of you, right? So my prime number is 353 denoted by Q. Now my primitive root that is alpha will be 3. Now by these two, and I have to select 2 private keys, yes or no? So XA and XB. Okay, XA is 97. We have chosen it. This is not having any particular rule to select like that. We have chosen large numbers. That's it. Then we are going to find YA and YB. Okay, so how to generate YA? That is alpha to the power of XA mod prime number Q, right? So alpha is 3, right? Alpha is 3, XA is 97, mod prime number is 356. So after calculation of this, my value of YA will be 40. Next, similarly, YB will be 248, right? See, after this, we exchange YA and YB, right? So after exchanging, at A side, I will be having public key of B and my own private key. Similarly, public key of A with its own private key. Now mod do all the operations so that I'll be getting common key, that is 160. Okay. So my session key generated here, which is common to both sender and receiver, is 160. Right. So this is the main advantage of Diffie Hellman algorithm, where it is utilized to create one session key between sender and receiver to avoid man-in-the-middle attack. If you have any doubts regarding this, just feel free to contact either through comments or through college environment. Thank you.